Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you had a great networking session. So I'm really excited for this next component of the evening. As you know, we couldn't do initiatives like this without incredible supporters and sponsors to help us along the way. And Lawson Lundell LLP has been alongside us as an APEX sponsor since day one. And we so appreciate their ongoing impactful support of the entrepreneur and innovation ecosystem. I'd like to now welcome Nika Pitskalny, Lawson Lundell Council, to introduce our first keynote speaker for this evening. Welcome, Nika.
Thank you, Alex. I'm so pleased to be here and honored to be introducing our keynote speaker this evening. Lawson Lundell is proud to be the founding sponsor of the Okanagan Angels Summit. And as Alex mentioned, we've been the APEX sponsor for 4 years and counting. The firm has been providing legal services for 135 years. We are a full-service business law firm with over 170 lawyers across 4 offices: Calgary, Vancouver, Kelowna, and Yellowknife. In 2021, Business in Vancouver reported that Lawson Lundell continues to be one of the fastest growing law firms in BC and the largest 5-year increase in the number of lawyers out of the top 5 biggest law firms in the province. Lawson Lundell is currently the 3rd largest law firm in Metro Vancouver. Lawson Lundell's Kelowna office was launched in February 2017 and serves a wide range of industries and sectors with a particular focus on technology. To better serve tech companies, the office is conveniently located in Kelowna's official tech hub, the Innovation Center. Our experienced team brings a wide range of expertise in areas including corporate and commercial law, intellectual property, commercial litigation, and corporate tax. After almost 10 years in various in-house roles, I decided to return to private practice, and I recently joined the firm, practicing primarily in technology, privacy and data management, intellectual property, and marketing and advertising law. And now to our keynote speaker. Since he was first elected to the Osoyoos Indian Band at the age of 24, Chief Clarence Louie has championed economic development and entrepreneurship to grow the band into a multifaceted corporation. During his tenure, Chief Louie has made several significant improvements to the Osoyoos Indian Band, including business acquisitions and developments, settling land claims, the introduction of the Osoyoos Indian taxation bylaw, and building new educational, healthcare, and social service facilities. Chief Louie's efforts have been widely recognized in Canada and the United States and have made him the recipient of several accolades, including the Order of Canada and both the British Columbia and Canadian Business Hall of Fame. Chief Louie, I want to thank you so much for sharing the time here with us this evening. We are all so excited to hear from you. And thank you, Accelerate Okanagan, for bringing this important event to our community.
I need to get your card. We're looking for more lawyers all the time. So what do? Just look at, I'm ready to go. White Huskal Halt, it's great to be here on the Okanagan First Nation territory and recognize the West Bank First Nation is just across the lake. Thank you for introducing me. As I mentioned, I want to get your card. We're always looking for more lawyers. We're always hiring the latest and greatest lawyers at the Osoyoos Indian Band. Thank you, Thuy Tran, for showing me around, for exchanging many emails. Man, you guys got an awesome building here. Wow. I love hanging around business people. As a chief for over 36 years, the 2 things I like doing, I'm probably the only chief in Canada that says this. First, I like creating jobs. I believe everyone needs the dignity of a job. Second thing I like doing, like all business people, is I love making money. Especially in our businesses in Osoyoos, the Osoyoos Indian Band, our little small claim to fame in this country is that we own more band businesses and joint ventures per capita than any other First Nation in this country. At Osoyoos, if you come down to the Osoyoos Indian Reserve, we're involved in agriculture, wineries, vineyards. It's great to see that Anthony Mondvandel is mentioned. He's one of our business partners. We're involved in residential, commercial, industrial properties. We have one of the best resorts in the country at Spirit Ridge. We partnered up with a neat project a few years ago, a racetrack. There's the best racetrack in Western Canada is on the Osoyoos Indian Reserve. And the reason I supported that racetrack, it's kind of like a private yacht club, a private golf course, the 300 plus members, they've actually sold out. Very few businesses where they've invested 20, 30, 40 million dollars into that racetrack, it's all paid off within 2 years. People that go there drive Ferraris, Lamborghinis, McLarens, not my type of car. I'll take a 69 GTO, Camaro, Mustang over any of these fancy supercars that they call nowadays. But what interests me is when I see somebody that owns a car that's worth over $500,000, I'm not interested in the car. I'm interested in a business person that owns that car. I want to know what type of business you do. How is it that you can own one car that's worth more than most people's houses? So through that racetrack, I've gotten to meet many successful business people all over North America. And we're partnered up with, well, Jackson Triggs. They changed their name to Altera. They're owned by the Ontario Teachers Pension Fund now. The biggest winery in Western Canada is also on the Osoyoos Indian Reserve. And the best First Nation winery, other than Robert Louie's here on West Bank Reserve, is Inkameep Cellars. Again, we're partnered up with Canada as one of Canada's biggest wineries. We love doing joint ventures. Some of the joint ventures we're going to be doing is in residential right now. It's in real estate. We're involved in, there's this battery company that makes these huge batteries, big as a room. And they told me if this project happens in our industrial park, we have a fully serviced industrial park that's still about 50 acres of available land. They want to bring this technology to Canada where they build these huge batteries. And they told me that the robots it's going to take to build these batteries, you have to have an engineering degree to run these robots. And a couple of years ago, I partnered up with a company in Ontario and we formed Indigenous Tech. So I'm 51% owners of Indigenous Tech. We've partnered up with Microsoft and BlackBerry. And last summer, we ran for the first time in this country a summer student program to encourage First Nation kids to get involved in technology, where their summer job was to sit in an air-conditioned office, have a fancy laptop in front of them, and listen to guest speakers from all over the world. And BC Hydro has decided to fund that program again, and that's with my personal company. So I love technology. It was awesome. When I saw your building here, I didn't even know this building was here. So it's awesome that I got to see this. And I had Tran actually, get on the phone with my partner in Ontario tonight. And it was so cool to listen to the presentations and then hear the cannabis, because we're involved in cannabis as well. And I took down a phone number. I'm going to talk to one of your finalists today and see if we can do some business with Justin. We're involved with cannabis. If you come to the Osoyoos Indian Reserve, we're the only First Nation that allowed a provincial prison on our res. We leased the province 20 acres a couple of years ago. So in our industrial park, it's the only industrial park where you'll see a provincial prison on one side of the road, the biggest winery in Western Canada across the street, and right next to them is a cannabis place, all within a block of each other. I'm open for business. That's what I tell people. As Osoyoos Indian Band, we're business people. We're open for business. We want to attract business to the South Okanagan. We want to be involved in business. I don't go to political meetings. I don't go to AFN meetings. I don't go to tribal meetings. I stay home and look after business. When somebody comes to my res and wants to lease land or do a joint venture, they talk to me. I'm also the CEO of our corporation. And I'm one of the rare chiefs that love business. I love hanging around business people. I love technology. So I want to thank the group here for having me here. Accelerate Okanagan. I didn't even know you existed. Awesome stuff you guys are doing here. Wow. And I hope we can do some business with your group here. First Nations people are the youngest and fastest growing population in this country. And yet the stats are deplorable when it comes to First Nation people being involved in the tech sector. Really, really bad. So that's one of the reasons that I got talked into forming this tech company called Indigenous Tech, where we can encourage First Nations people. And BC has the most to gain or lose when it comes to First Nations. There's more First Nations in BC, over 200, 201 exactly. and more Indian reserves in this province than any other province. Most people don't realize there's over 1,500 Indian reserves in this province. And with the number of land claims being settled, and we just had a group in my office this after, 1 o'clock today. They came from Smithers. They just got lots of money for the pipeline deal that they just settled. They're looking for investments. So whether it's pipeline deals, land claims, First Nations people are becoming business people once again. We're getting back on our economic horse. And especially in the natural resource sector, you can't do business now, whether it's forestry, mining, pipelines, without involving First Nations people. And what I'm seeing, and more, just like the Osoyoos Indian Band, we're involved in hotels, we're involved in racetracks, we're involved in wineries, we're involved in cannabis. First Nations, we're involved in anything you can think of. Take the West Bank Band, for example, just across the bridge here. Any type of store you can think of is on that res. There's over 5,000 people, 5,000 non-native people that live on that Indian reserve. And even if you come to Osoyoos, we have non-natives feeling safe and secure to build and to take their life savings and build their multi-million-dollar dream home right on the Osoyoos Indian Reserve. So I'm really glad I was able to come here today, and hopefully with Accelerate Okanagan, we can figure out how do we get the youngest and fastest growing population in this country involved in technology? How do First Nations people become partners with people in the tech business? And as I mentioned, just listening to those presentations, I've got a phone call to make tonight. I'll probably do it on my way home. I got Justin's cell number here. So I'm going to call him and see if he can help us get our cannabis operation over the line with Health Canada. So all of you out there, give me a call, send me an email. We're willing to do business with you. We want to do business. And First Nations in this people in this province, in the last decade, there's been more money made on First Nations reserves than any other time in the history of this country. And then in the next decade is going to be super exciting. As I mentioned, First Nations people are signing $100 million deals. Williams Lake First Nation, for example, just settled a $100 million deal. They're looking for investment. Squamish, I can talk about Kamloops Indian Band. BC, when it comes to First Nation involvement, is where it's going to happen. BC has always led the way and always will lead the way. So I want to thank Twee for having me here, and thank everybody here for listening to me today. And hopefully we can do some business. I mean, go on our website. The Osoyoos Indian Band, we're as good as it gets, and we want to do business with you guys. And I wish I had a chance to meet everybody that's sitting up in that room. This is kind of weird. I thought you guys would be down here. And I see you guys started on Indian time. I thought, what, it's almost 5:30 and you guys are late? I thought only Indians are late. Business people are never late. So with that, thank you for having me here. Osoyoos is only a short drive away. Come and see what we're doing. And hopefully we can get some projects together and support each other and create some jobs and make some money. Limlimp in my language. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief Louie. We so appreciate your honesty about loving to create jobs and make money. I saw several people in the chat also agree with you. So obviously you're in the right company tonight with other folks who are on the same page. Wonderful. Well, that was our first keynote for the evening, and we still have one more to look forward to as well. And we so appreciate Chief Louie joining us here today out of the Innovation Center, downtown Kelowna. We are heading into 3 more pitches, so you'll be hearing from 3 more companies, one of those being Justin, who Chief Louie was just referencing. So if you were listening, thinking, who's this Justin Valmont? You'll be hearing from him shortly as well from his company, Think Tank Automation.